Jai Ganesh. Hello students. Good morning everybody. Welcome to my English class. That is very interesting and exciting one. That is direct and indirect speech of class 10 English grammar chapter 10. In this chapter we learn what is direct speech and what is indirect speech, how to convert direct speech to indirect speech. Let us discuss first direct speech. You see, we usually do have two ways of speaking or express our the spoken words. That is, one is direct speech, another is indirect speech. What is direct speech? In direct speech, the actual words of the speaker are quoted as it is. Take the example, Gopi said, I am happy. You see the pictures. Gopi is here the speaker. So Gopi said is the reporting clause. Said is the reporting verb. And after reporting verb there is a comma after said. And I am happy the direct speech is within inverted comma. So this is, and what Gopi said, I am happy, is exactly quoted within inverted comma. So Gopi said, I am happy. Is it indirect? Is it direct speech? Other examples, she said to me, do you like your coffee? He said to me, what is your problem? He said, let us go on a picnic. Ramo said, alas, I have been ruined. So these sentences are said to be in direct speech because the actual words of the speakers have been presented within inverted commas. So let us discuss what is indirect speech. In indirect speech, the actual words of the speaker are transferred within necessary changes. Take the example. Gopi said that he was happy. You see, Gopi is the speaker here. Gopi said is the reporting clause and said is the reporting verb. And there is no comma after reporting verb said. And there is no inverted comma. Inverted comma. And that is used, the reporting word that is used. And there is also change of a pronoun. I is replaced by he, and there is also change of tense. Am is the present simple and there the change is the was past simple. Present simple to past simple. So now Gopi said that he was happy is in indirect speech. Take other examples. She asked me whether she liked her coffee. He asked me what my problem was. He suggested us to go on a picnic. Rama exclaimed with sorrow that he had been ruined. When we report others' words, they said, with or without our comments, that is reported or indirect speak. You see, let us see the comparison between direct speech and indirect speech. In direct speech, exact words are given in quotation marks. There is a comma after the reporting verb. The remark begins with a capital letter. Take the example. John said they are coming. You see, comma is after reporting verb said, and they are coming is within inverted comma, and it begins with the capital letter T. But in indirect speech, no quotation marks are used and no comma is used, but a reporting word that is used. You see the example. John said that they were coming. There is no comma after said and no quotation mark, and that is used, reporting word that is used, and there is also the change of tense. Another thing is in direct speech, first person and second person pronouns are used. For example, Papu said to Pina, I started a new job. But in indirect speech, Third person pronouns are used. Papu told Bina that he had started a new job. You in direct speech, the tense is the same as the one the speaker used or as it is used at the moment of speaking. Jaya said, I will sleep. You see, Jaya, the in direct speech, I will sleep. The tense remains the same when Jaya said. But in indirect speech, tenses are changed generally to match the tense of the repeating verb. You see, your Joy said that she would sleep. You see, Joy said is the repeating verb is in the past tense. So there is the change. Will is changed to would. She would sleep. Joya said that she would sleep is indirect speech. So these are the differences. So how to change, how to convert direct speech to indirect speech. Okay. Take example. Nobin said, I am learning Odia now. How to convert it to indirect speech? Nobin said, you see, there is the omission of, there is no comma in indirect speech, and inverted comma is no more in indirect speech, and replace them and use a reporting word that is used, and we have to change the pronoun, and I is replaced by he, and we have to make the change of tense. I am learning present progressive and change it into past progressive was learning because the reporting verb is said, that is in the past simple, and there is also change of the adverbial. Now is in direct speech, it is changed to then. So the change of our time expression now is changed to then. This is how we changed, we converted. Navin said, I am learning Odia now. It's a direct speech, and to convert it in that speech, we get Navin said that he was learning Odia then. Okay, note. Keep in mind while changing, when we can change from direct to indirect speech, change the pronoun, and backshift the tense means change the tense according to the report tense of the reporting verb, then change the time and place expression here. Okay, so reported speech as per the reporting time. You see, it depends on the reporting time. The traveler says, I am tired. You see, the reporting verb is present, says. So the traveler says that he is tired. So there is no change of for the tense. Okay. Present tense in the direct speech and in the indirect speech also the present. So the verbs in direct speech remains unchanged when the reporting verb is in the present tense. Here the present tense suggests that the words were spoken only a short time ago or still relevant with the present time. He will say, I shall go to bed early, and it's in direct speech easy. He will say that he will go to bed early. You see, take the other example, study the following sentences. He said, I like sweets. Please convert it into indirect speech. He said that he likes sweets. He said that he liked sweets. Both of them are correct. Some say he said he likes sweets. Is it true? Correct. And some say he said that he likes sweets. Is it correct? Both of them are correct. But it is used according to the situation. Suppose he still now he likes sweets. We can say he said that he likes sweets. If we say no, he liked it before, but now he does not like. So we can say he said that he liked sweets. Okay. So the teacher said Bhubaneswar is a city of temples. How to convert it to indirect speech? The teacher said that Bhubaneswar is a city of temples. The words are still true at the time of speaking. Okay. So let us discuss some other examples. How to convert direct speech to indirect speech. Father said the sun rises in the east. You see, father said that the sun rises in the east. No change of tense from direct speech to indirect speech. Why? Because the sun rises in the east is a universal truth. It was, it is, it will be also. So there is no change. So though the reporting verb is in the past tense, there is no change of the tense in indirect speech. Take another example. Tutu said, I go for a walk every morning. Tutu said that he goes for a walk every morning. The tense also does not change because it is a habitual action. You see, Tutu said is the reporting clause. Said is the reporting verb, is in the past tense, past simple tense. That he goes for a walk every morning, the reported speech in present simple. It does not change. Why? Because it is a habitual action. The same situation in scientific truth. Rajesh said water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. We can say, we can convert it to indirect speech. Rajesh said that water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. There is no change of tense because it is scientific truth. The teacher said India became independent in 1947. The teacher said that India became independent in 1947. You see, in direct speech it is past simple, in indirect speech it is also past simple. There is no change of a tense because of the historical truth. So note that although the reporting verb is in the past tense, the present tense in the direct speech is not changed into past tense if the direct speech is a universal truth or scientific truth, geographical truth or habitual action. So you see, when we convert from direct speech to indirect speech, we do have necessary changes. Past tense from we have discussed that pronouns and we have already known and discussed. Then change of tense is very important. Change of tense while we convert or when we convert from direct to indirect speech is important. We should keep in mind when we use reporting verb in the past tense, we generally change the tense of the verb in the reported speech. Given below a list of tenses in direct speech and their changed forms in the indirect speech. Direct speech present simple. Take the example. Rajiv said, I'm late. But it is changed from present simple to past simple in indirect speech. Rajiv said that he was late. In direct speech, present progressive turns into past progressive in indirect speech. Example, Akshay said, Bubbly is reading a novel. Akshay said that Bubbly was reading a novel. Present perfect change is changed to past perfect in indirect speech. Meena said, I have learned this game from my granny. Meena said that she had learned that game from her granny. Present perfect progressive is changed to past perfect progressive. Take the example. Gyaniji said, I have been washing this car since 9 o'clock this morning. Gyaniji said that he had been washing the car since 9 o'clock that morning. Past simple is changed to past perfect. You mark it, there is the change. Past simple is changed to past perfect. Take the example. Rai said, I read this book. I read this book is in the past simple. And it's a indirect speech is Rai said that he had read that book. Okay. So past progressive is changed to past perfect progressive in indirect speech. Take the example. The student said, I was doing my exercises and it is changed in indirect speech. The student said that he had been doing his exercises. Okay. So past progressive is changed into past perfect progressive. Past perfect is changed into past perfect. Past perfect progressive is changed into past perfect progressive. There is no change of a past perfect and past perfect progressive when we change direct speech to indirect speech. John said cricket had been my passion in my childhood, and it is in direct speech. John said that cricket had been his passion in his childhood. In direct speech of present perfect progressive, they complained, we have been waiting for over 2 hours. They complained that they had been waiting for 2 hours. And present form of modal auxiliary verbs, Gita said, I will do this tomorrow. He changed the past form of modal auxiliaries. Gita said she would do that the next day. Will is changed to would. Okay. Note that the past simple is changed to past perfect, though not always, and past progressive is changed to past perfect progressive, though not always, in indirect speech. But a past perfect and a past perfect progressive do not change in indirect speech. And you mark verb in time clauses usually do not change. It is very important to remember. Verb in time clauses usually do not change. Example, he said, when I saw them, they were playing tennis. Is in indirect speech the same. He said that when he saw them, they were playing tennis. No change of tense because time clause is there. You see, you should mark, we should know the change of adverbials in indirect speech. If it is indirect speech, now is turned to then or at that time in indirect speech. Today is it converted to that day, tonight to that night, yesterday the day before, the previous day, the day before yesterday is changed to 2 days before, tomorrow is changed to the next day, the following day, the day after tomorrow is changed into in 2 days time. This week is changed to that week. Next week year is changed to the following week year. Last week last year is changed into the week before the previous week. Ago is changed into before. A year is changed into a year before. The previous year is changed into there. There is converted to there. Those is converted in that way. And you see change of modal auxiliaries in direct speech. Indirect speech. Direct speech will is changed into would in indirect speech. Shall, should, would, can, could, may, might, must, had to, would have to, must not, was not to, need not, did not have to. Take the example I shall complain to the police. I said that I would complain to the police. Shall is converted to would. When most is used, the meaning of necessity, it remains unchanged in indirect speech or changed to heart. Where you see, I take the example, I thought there must be some mistakes. I thought that there must be some mistakes, no change, because it is see, a necessity, probability. You see, when most refers to the future, it changes to have to. I must go soon, said Sarita. Sarita said that she would have to go soon. Note that should, would, must, might, could, used to, and ought to do not generally change in indirect speech. You see, change of pronouns demonstrative in indirect speech. This, that, these used as a pronouns can become it, they, or them. She said, this is my purse. She said that it was her purse. You see, this is changed to it because it is here that this is here pronoun. So pronoun is changed to it, they are there. You see, but this and this used as demonstratives or determinants usually change to the. How? He said, I bought this saree for my mother. He said that he had bought the saree for her, for his mother. You see, this saree is changed to the saree. Said because this is used here as demonstrative or determiner. Okay. Then reporting verbs for statements. You have noticed that the reporting verb in a direct speech in most cases is say or said. But in indirect speech, we sometimes replace it by another verb appropriate to the meaning of the statement. Some such reporting verbs in indirect speech are tell, state, announce, declare, promise, order, complain, protest, allege, explain, think, advise, ask, agree, observe, remark, etc. Take the example. The teacher said to me, you should work hard for your exam. Here, the teacher advised me that I should work hard for my exam. You see, advice is used in place of say. Okay, so this is the change of reporting verbs. So let us discuss how questions are changed from direct to indirect speech. And we know questions are of two types. One is yes no questions, another is WS questions. Yes no questions, take the example. He said to me, do you know him? You see, there is a change. He asked me if or whether I knew him. What are the changes? You see, invert comma and inverted comma are omitted, removed, and you see, said is replaced by asked. And the you see no statement, yes or no questions become statements beginning with the if or whether. If or whether I know, I knew him. No more question. The verb ask is used to inquiry wanted to know. Ask is used and question mark is no more at the end of the indirect speech. And the change of verb, person, demonstrative are the same in case of statements. So he said to me, do you know him? He asked me if or whether I knew him. This is how we convert yes no questions from direct speech to indirect speech. Take other examples. The teacher said to me, have you done your homework? The teacher asked me if or whether I had done my homework. Was it raining heavily at your place last month? He said to me. He asked me if whether it may had been raining heavily at my place the previous month or the month before. Note that yes no questions become statements beginning with if or whether. The verb ask, inquire, want to know, wonder is used to report the question. Question mark is not given at the end of the indirect speech. The change of the verb form for the change of the verb for person, demonstratives, pronouns, and adverbials are the same as they are for the statements. So let us see WH questions. How to convert WH questions to indirect in indirect. Who lives next door? He said. He asked who lived next door. You see, said is replaced by asked and a conjunction that is not used after the repeating verb. Okay, and the WH questions are changed into statements beginning with the WH word or WH clause. You see, he asked who lived next door. The clause here begins with the reporting clause. Is reported speech begins with the who, WH word. And the construction of the reported indirect speech is the subject. He asked, and then person addressed as to whom, and then WH words who lived next door. What happened, he said, is he asked what had happened. My friend said to me, when did you return home last night? My friend asked me when I had returned the previous day. Why did not you attend the meeting? My boss said. My boss questioned why I had not attended the meeting. Note that the conjunction that is not used after the reporting verb in WH questions. In indirect speech, the WH questions are changed into statements beginning with the WH words. And the structure of the indirect speech is the subject plus as plus person addressed to plus WH noun clause. Okay. So let us see the imperatives in indirect speech. How to change imperative sentences from direct to indirect. The keeper said to us, do not feed the animals. You see, do not feed the animals is the imperative sentence and it is in indirect speech. How to change it? The keeper told us not to feed the animals. No comma, comma is removed, inverted comma is removed, and a said reporting verb is replaced by told, and you see not to is used when reporting an imperative sentence. We use the verb tell, then we use not to or to before the verb of the imperative sentence, so that it takes to plus infinitive plus noun phrase verb. The keeper told us not to feed the animals. Okay, and its structure is as plus person addressed to and plus not to plus the imperative sentence. His mother said to him, turn off the TV. And we change it. His mother told him to turn off the TV. The teacher said to the boy, get out of the class. The teacher ordered the boy to get out of the class. Jim said to his mother, pass the salt. Jim requested his mother to pass the salt. The manager said to the clerk, you may go. The manager permitted the clerk to go. You see, and note, when reporting an imperative sentence, we can use one of the following verbs like ask, order, request, tell, remind, command, beg, warn, advise, promise, agree, refuse, etc. instead of say. We use to or not to before the verb of the imperative sentences so that it takes a to plus infinitive plus noun phrase form. Its structure in indirect speech will be ask, order, request, etc. plus person addressed to and not to plus imperative sentence. You see the last one. How exclamations are changed from direct to indirect speech or exclamatory. How to change exclamatory sentences into indirect speech. Take the example. She said, how beautiful. How beautiful is the exclamatory sentence? Is exclamation. So we have to change it. You see, we have to remove comma and inverted comma and no more an exclamation. It becomes exclamatory sentences become statements in indirect speech. How she exclaimed that it was very beautiful. We use very to emphasize the intensity of the exclamation in the indirect speech. Okay, and in some cases, statements may fail to convey the meaning. You say, okay. So he said, what a tragedy! He exclaimed that it was a terrible tragedy. He said, good luck. He wished me a good luck. He said, liar. He called me a liar. He said, hello, where do you live? He greeted me and asked me where I lived. You see, I think you have learned what is direct speech, what is indirect speech, how to convert direct speech to indirect speech. I think you have enjoyed the class. If you like it, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Best of luck.